Next on Worcester News tonight, new developments in the fire that killed a city firefighter. Today, a local man faces serious charges. Plus, 3 police officers sent to the hospital after coming in contact with meth. Now a suspect is facing charges. Good evening, I'm Olivia Lemmon. A man is indicted on a second-degree murder charge in connection to the fire which claimed the life of Worcester firefighter Christopher Roy. The Worcester County District Attorney's Office says 21-year-old Momo Kamara intentionally set the fire on Lowell Street back in December. Our Cam Jandro was at the man's arraignment today. He joins us live now with more. Cam.
Olivia, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined firefighter Roy died of smoke inhalation and the manner of death is homicide. The man investigators say set the fire is facing serious charges. Momo Kamara is from West Boylston. District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. says the 21-year-old was arrested earlier today and is facing charges of second-degree murder, arson, and armed robbery. Investigators determined numerous fires were set in the basement of the building on December 9th. Prosecutors say video footage captured Kamara in the area of the fire around 2:30 a.m. and leaving shortly after firefighters arrived.
This coordinated and cooperative investigation of more than 3 months brought us here today. The fire investigation determined that the fire was set in the basement of 5-7 Lowell Street. The criminal investigation led us to Mr. Kamara, a former resident of the building.
Intense and immediate layered rescue efforts were implemented to locate and save firefighter Roy when he did not exit. He died as a result of exposure to smoke conditions within the fire, Your Honor.
Kamara pled not guilty to all charges and he's being held without bail. His case has been continued to April 24th. The DA says the investigation is still ongoing. Olivia.
All right, Cam, thank you for those details. In other news, temperatures closing in on 60 degrees today across central Massachusetts, but will the warm blast of spring remain for the weekend? Let's get a first look at our local forecast with meteorologist Tim Kelly.
The center of that old storm now is moving into Ontario. We had a nice dry slot work in between a decaying front in the center of the old storm. A lot of action on this front, and there's still a chance of a little more rain today. At the airport, we barely made 60 degrees. Downtown, we were in the lower 60s. The record high for today, 81 from 1990, so no records broken. So here comes another round of showers, perhaps a thunderstorm briefly between now and about 9 o'clock. Look at the downpour crossing southeastern Massachusetts. So we're very close. Good news is it stays fairly warm tonight. There's no refreeze. Snowbanks continue to melt. Most of the snow is gone from the yard now. And tomorrow it continues to melt. Temperature starts off near 40 and goes up a little bit. In the hills, not so much. Downtown, we should get to 45 or 50. But at the airport and top of the hills, Wachusett, about 40. Nice soft snow if you want to go skiing tomorrow. Also, you can start the garden. It's called the worm moon, and it's going to be full next week with the vernal equinox. Does turn much colder for our St. Patrick's Day, closer to 40. Mostly dry, pretty cold. 10-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Tim. 3 police officers in Spencer rushed to the hospital after a hazmat scare. They were exposed to a drug during a traffic stop, which led to health concerns for the officers and a suspect. Our Rosalind Flaherty has more details from police tonight. She joins us now with the latest. Rosalind.
Olivia, they were exposed to methamphetamine and cocaine. Thankfully, the officers are okay, but the department says the incident is concerning. This is the man Spencer police say sparked a hazmat situation after a traffic stop. 3 officers were hospitalized for methamphetamine exposure.
It's very concerning for officer safety.
48-year-old Scott Yerger faced a judge Friday. Prosecutors say police received a 911 call around 8 p.m. Thursday for an erratic driver. When they pulled the New Jersey man over, officers say he was acting odd and irrational. They discovered a white powdery substance in a plastic bag.
The defendant informed that he was sick and that there was some type of powder blowing from the vents in his vehicle.
Officers handling the substance began to feel ill. The rental car Yerger was driving was towed back to the station. A level 1 hazmat was declared and officers detected he had meth and cocaine on him. The officers and Yerger were taken to the hospital. All the officers have since been released.
It's important that when we encounter these things, that paramount is making sure that the officers are safe and we take care of them and make sure that they're properly evaluated and they're not exposed to these harmful drugs.
Yerger faces numerous charges. $500 bail was set at his arraignment. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Good Chemistry is given the green light by the city of Worcester Thursday to sell recreational marijuana. The dispensary is likely to become the first recreational shop in the city. Good Chemistry is hopeful retail sales will begin in April. At first, they only accept customers with reservations and will provide parking at the Wyman Gordon property. This is part of a 30-day crowd and traffic control plan approved by the city's License Commission. The business started selling medical marijuana last August. A construction company who's already completed projects in Worcester is recommended to be the construction manager of Polar Park. The selection committee from Polar Park has recommended Gilbane Hunt to the Worcester Redevelopment Authority. Polar Park is scheduled to open in April of 2021. Gilbane Building Company is headquartered in Providence and has completed projects at Fenway Park, WPI, and North High School. The WRA will vote on the recommendation at its next scheduled meeting on Tuesday. It's a big day for medical students across the country. They are finding out where they will spend the next 4 years and start their careers. For many at UMASS Medical School, they say it's both exciting but emotional. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now with the story of many students. Chandler.
Olivia, UMASS Medical School was filled with tears, smiles, and even some victory dances. Students opened important envelopes to figure out which programs they'll be going to. Mimi Tran celebrates with her family as she finds out where she'll spend her medical residency. She was the first of 125 students to get her envelope at UMass Medical School's match day, but she had to wait for everyone else so they could reveal their schools and programs at the same time.
It was really surprising finally to see the words on paper, and it was like closure and just so many emotions of happiness.
Tran is a Worcester County native and says she's happy to be placed close by, staying at UMass for emergency medicine.
It was my first choice. It feels like I'm coming full circle just being here in this community, and now I'm going to get to train here.
More than 20 UMass medical students joined Tran in Worcester. Others like Bruna Olson are leaving for places like Brown University, her first choice.
You always have that fear in the back of your mind that you're not going to match the place that you're going to go. So I was very happy.
Jason Lau and Tiffany Chen are also moving somewhere new.
Funnily enough, we both grew up in Natick but didn't really know each other until medical school, and I've never left Massachusetts, so we were aiming for California, and now we're going to California.
The two have been together for 4 years and participated in a couples match. They'll be working in pediatrics and family medicine.
Where we're going right now in Sacramento is like super close by. We can basically live in the same place. We don't have to worry about commuting as much, so it's just going to be a lot better for the next few years.
Students say it was an emotional day, and finding out where they'd be the next few years was a relief.
I'm just so excited to be the first doctor in my family.
Of the 125 students, more than half will be staying in the Northeast. Others will spread throughout the country. Live in the newsroom, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Massport announces Friday they are investing $300,000 for marketing the Worcester Regional Airport. The marketing campaign targets 3 million residents in Metro West and Central Massachusetts communities. It will include billboards and social media ads intended to drive awareness about the airport's ease of use, affordable parking options, connections, and flight offerings. Massport says the flights benefit business, commuters, and leisure travelers. Worcester Police Officer Sean Lovely visits the city's senior center Friday to talk about issues the city is facing, like homelessness, drug dependency, and mental illness. Lovely is the center's Distinguished Speaker of the Month. He is also the Grand Marshal in the Worcester County St. Patrick's Parade next weekend. Officer Lovely answered any questions the seniors may have and also played the bagpipes for them to enjoy.
I actually have a lot of my friends that I grew up with in Webster Square, and I have a lot of them actually marching with me. I get a float. We have a big contingency from Webster Square.
And Officer Lovely's great aunt gave him a shillelagh. It was his great-great-grandfather's. Lovely says he's excited to have it for the parade.
This walking stick was my great-great-grandfather's. William Hamilton from County Kerry, Ireland, came here in the 1890s with this with this shillelagh, and it was passed down from generation to generation, and I'm actually going to walk down Park Ave in the parade.
And the Worcester County St. Patrick's Parade is next Sunday, March 24th on Park Avenue. A big send-off for the Worcester Tech boys basketball team this afternoon as they look to bring home the state championship in boys basketball. Hundreds of students lined the halls today cheering on the team. They are on a 6-game winning streak. If the Eagles win this weekend, they will be the first Worcester public school to win a state title in boys basketball. A city team hasn't played for the state title since 1997. Coach Sean Lynch says the team's hard work and dedication has gotten them to where they are.
The administration got together and organized a roll-in rally for us. A good send-off for the boys before the big game tomorrow. So we're really excited to represent the school, the city.
And the Eagles take on Abington this Saturday night at WPI.